Imagine for a moment, what if I told you that the way you've been taught to learn is fundamentally flawed? Most of us spent our entire school careers cramming facts and figures, only to have them vanish the moment the test was over. But what if there was a secret, a method used by the greatest minds in history to not just learn faster, but to truly understand and remember anything forever? Today, I'm going to reveal 3 of these powerful methods. Not just vague tips, but actionable strategies rooted in science that will change the way you see learning forever. If you're ready to unlock a new level of understanding and make any subject feel as real as yesterday, stick with me. Method 1, the Socratic Questioning Method. Have you ever looked at a concept and simply accepted it as a fact? The law of gravity, the formula for a chemical reaction, or the rules of a new language. The information goes in one ear and out the other. But what if you asked why? This isn't just about curiosity. It's a technique championed by one of the greatest philosophers of all time, Socrates. He didn't lecture, he asked questions. The Socratic method is about moving beyond surface-level facts and digging into the very heart of the matter. When you learn, stop just memorizing rules and start questioning everything. Why does this formula work? What if I change this variable? How does this concept connect to other things I already know? By engaging in this active form of recall, you're not just storing information, you're building a network of connections in your brain. You're forcing yourself to understand the motivations, the cause and effect, and the deeper context. It transforms a subject from a list of facts into a compelling story that makes logical sense. When you can explain a concept by answering a series of why questions, you'll never forget it. Ready to see how a forgotten psychologist can make any concept stick in your mind for good? We're about to dive into the most powerful memory technique ever discovered. Method 2, the Ebbinghaus forgetting curve and spaced repetition. Let's be honest, we've all crammed for an exam. You stayed up all night, chugging coffee, desperately trying to shove a semester's worth of information into your brain. The result? You passed the test, but a week later, you could barely remember a single detail. This isn't a failure of your memory, it's a failure of your strategy. This phenomenon was first scientifically mapped out in the 19th century by German psychologist Hermann Ebbinghaus. He discovered something profound. Our brains naturally forget information over time. He called this the forgetting curve. It shows that we forget most of what we learned within the first 24 hours. But he also found a secret to flattening that curve. It's called spaced repetition. Instead of cramming all at once, you review the information at increasing intervals over time. When you learn a new formula today, review the key details again tomorrow. Then review it again in 3 days, then a week later, then a month later. Each time you revisit the information, you are reinforcing the neural pathways, making the memory stronger and more durable. This method isn't new. For centuries, scholars used a similar technique to memorize entire texts and sacred books. The modern twist, backed by Ebbinghaus's science, proves it's the single most effective way to transfer information from your short-term to your long-term memory. It's how you turn fragile, fleeting facts into permanent knowledge. What if there was a way to make any subject come alive, not just in your mind, but in the world around you? The final strategy will show you how. Method 3, the protégé effect and learning by doing. Reading a textbook or watching a tutorial is a great first step, but it's still passive learning. The information washes over you, but you're not building a tangible connection to it. To truly master a topic, you have to do what the great Leonardo da Vinci did: get your hands dirty. Da Vinci didn't just read about anatomy, he dissected bodies. He didn't just read about flight, he built flying machines. He used the concept of learning by doing to turn abstract theory into concrete understanding. But here's the most powerful part of this method, known as the protégé effect. Teach what you learn. When you try to explain a complex concept, like the laws of thermodynamics, to someone else, you instantly reveal the gaps in your own knowledge.
This forces you to go back, fill in the blanks, and simplify the concept until it's crystal clear. Your brain organizes the information in a far more coherent way, and you understand it at a deeper level. You don't need a friend to teach. Explain the concept to yourself in the mirror, create a short social media post about it, or even just write a paragraph summarizing the key points. The simple act of creating and articulating your knowledge cements it in your mind. So, how will you apply these methods? Are you ready to stop being a passive observer and start becoming a master of your own learning? The key is in your hands.